This is the Argon News Network, where today we're looking at the shiny. Welcome and well met, brave members of the Agonistance, the Argon Resistance. Fight the power. Welcome back to the Loser Bum channel for some single take, single board computer, modern retro 8-bit low tech, low production value, very low script kind of content. And as it says in the title, harking back to last week where we did cool, funky ear stuff, like had the Argon to do some nice music. Today, it's more something for the eyes, a little bit of eye candy. I'm going to go a bit slower as well, because last couple of videos are very high intensity, very energetic, may have upset some people, so this time we're going to chill. I think that's the best for everyone. Full disclosure, this is based very much and supported by a cool resource I found through some of the social media channel. Somebody called Sabotrax on GitHub maintains this page of Argon software with links to everything you need: firmware, games, graphical demos, operating systems, you name it. There's a bunch of stuff here which I haven't tried yet, so that's good. And under the graphical demo section, you will find the famous Argon ASCII Wars produced by yours truly, link maybe in the description below, and some cool graphic stuff. So as I said, after doing the sound, today we're going to look what we can put on your screen in terms of pretty collection of pixels. We start with a submission or a donation by Mr. Richard Turnage, very active in the community on the social media, done a lot of cool stuff for us. Well done, thank you. And it's a very prosaic lunar lander. It's going to start easy, right? So it's binary, it's in assemble, so it's called lander _28. Love that already, right? This is proper version control. None of your gits and githubs and CVSs. No, lander _28 _temp v2 final. This is really the one. .bin, that is the one we're looking at. And let's load that and run it. And see, already nice pixelated graphics and things, and a sort of fake NASA script like that. And you go play, and it's a lunar lander. Notice the nice the nice rocket sounds there in the background. If you don't know, basically I got to land down there with as little horizontal and vertical speed as possible, and I've landed. Yay, next level. And they are different level, they're not random. I talked over the landing audio, which I will that's why I'll do the next level just for you, so it shouldn't be too hard, right? So it's just acceleration. You don't actually have to slow it down that much. You can do a big burn at the end. Whoops, too much, then you pop up again. Yeah, and basically it should not be drifting left and right and not hitting the ground. I think it's saying the Eagle has landed. And yeah, there's lots of different individual levels, including this one called Argon HQ. So, yep, kind of cool there. Well done. Like that. That's a funny one. And full disclosure, let me zoom back. This was one of the first games I ever saw on an Apple II. The big school I went to school in like very early 80s, and the school for some reason had a mainframe with 20 steampunk kind of terminals, and everybody ignored that gigantic machine because they'd finally got an Apple II, and on a green screen, that's what the computer science teachers were playing. Lunar lander like this, of course, green on black, better graphics, worse graphics, but exactly the same look and feel. And interestingly enough, if you look, it's based on a much older game. The first HP programmable calculators, still with LED and not LCD, they were programmable, and Lunar Lander was a thing that somebody had programmed, and basically you just got a number which said fuel remaining vertical velocity, and then you type in a number which was your seconds of burn, and then it would say, okay, your velocity is now this much, and your height above ground is this much, and this how much fuel, and you just needed to get down without running out of fuel, and which is super relevant relevant because the moon landings were very much in everybody's memory. YouTube tip: look for a YouTube channel called Curious Mark with a C at the end, single word. He and his posse have done some bonkers amazing stuff in restoring the Apollo guidance computer, real hardware from back then, people flying on the moon on 14 kilobytes of core rope memory. It's amazing stuff. You can spend hours on that. So yeah, go watch Curious Mark. It's good, very very smart. Okay, enough of the talking. Next piece of eye candy from a gentleman going by the name of Movie Vertigo, which is like Vertigo, the Alfred Hitchcock movie, I think is what he's referring to, and he does some pretty funky stuff as well. So let's pop right over there. Load. BubbleUniverse.bin. This is his latest creation. We'll be seeing him again. And this is it. It loads. A lot of his stuff is like fairly chunky, so it takes a moment to load, but at least it's giving you a progress bar, which, by the way, is way more reliable than the Windows progress bar. And this is it. Hang on, we will go and deliver some funk with that. Okay, might need some more chill music. So I'm not sure if this is like procedurally generated. It's definitely not like animated frames or anything. And he says at the moment at 7 FPS, and he's getting up there. And for a Z80 doing this kind of stuff, impressive. I like it. It's pretty. It's purple, kind of very relaxing. It's like, eye candy right there. So well done. And it actually lets me escape out. However, I will power cycle to the device because the things which come out of Movie Vertigo tend to go pretty hard on the MOS and on the VDP, and yes, sometimes are not great for the stability of the device. Next, eye candy. I may have shown this one before, but it absolutely fits in here. By Christian Pinder, who is an original Elite port of some description. So let's go. No, wrong one. There we go. Load elite.bin and run that. And it's just like, and you can choose, right? We're going to go for the highest resolution. And even with the highest resolution, with not just wireframe, this is smooth. This is smooth as butter glass. And it's already got keyboard input and is now not just doing one chip, it's doing all the ships. Is there a way to get to the next ship? It says, it's just rotating, right? And it's got the Anaconda, right? So I need to look up again exactly what Mr. Pinder's relationship is to Elite, but my understanding is he's successfully ported it to other platforms before, supposedly working on the Argon Light edition as well, and we have additional ships now, and he's still got something to simulate, something like 8 universes and thousands of spaceships and star systems, whatever. But it's a start. It's a start. I can't wait to dock at Lesti and buy some food to transport to the other one. So again, well done. Very, very happy with that. Elite, will it come? I would be very pleased if Elite came to the Argon, and of course it's very period correct, right? I mean, it's that's, you can't get much more 80s than Elite, especially because BBC Basic is the basic of the Argon, and the BBC Micro was the original hardware which Elite was delivered for. So well done there. Another one from Movie Vertigo, second one from Movie Vertigo. So even if the old timers here, if I just type the name Mandelbro, yes, it's Benoit Mandelbro, aka the Fractals. So yep, let's keep iterating until the complex number turns negative or something like that. This is an artifact. It should not look like this. This is because I'm running the very latest VDP. I think is why it looks like that. But you can use the keys to like zoom in on a particular area of the of the set, right? And this looks like there's something in the latest VDP I'm running. I think a 2.6, which seems to interact a little bit negatively with this. But who cares? You can like zoom in and explore this, and I'm sure if we looked long enough, we could find the Valley of the Seahorses, and yeah. So go look it up. Fractals were really a thing, very contemporary with the period which we're looking at here with the Argon. And I want to say I'm not unimpressed impressed by the speed, right? When I started with fractals, I think my own machine was still a 286, and it was slower at than this at running these. So maybe one day I've got this Pentium 2 original hardware over here. Maybe I'll see if I can find a Mandelbro generator for that, and we'll have a head-to-head race, because it feels, considering the amount of calculations it's doing, it feels pretty zippy. I was talking to Movie Vertigo on Discord, and he mentioned all kinds of cool tricks which he does with lookup tables instead of multiplication, and all kinds of tricks to get some real serious acceleration out of this hardware. Impressive, quite impressive. So, yeah, we're back in the fractals. We're back in the Mandels of Brotz. Let's go over. Next one. What do we have next? Where are we here? Oh, yes. It's Lemmings. It's Lemmings. And I'm really happy about this. Again, all the links will be in the description below. This one's actually written in BASIC. So I got to actually first load the BASIC. Sig.bin. Run. And then we got a caps lock. And then we got to go cd lem. And then load. No. Chain. Lemmings.bat. Not bat. Baz. And there it's coming, and here we go. And you can see it's loading the collisions, loading the masks, loading the sprites, loading the backgrounds. And I'm really chuffed to be able to present this, because I've been observing this this project for a while now, and I couldn't get it to run because it seems that Mike Daly writes it in a different tool in the emulator, and then when he's got a stable release, he then ports it to the Argon. And previously, I just couldn't find the actual I couldn't find the files, right? There was just his working files, but I couldn't get them to run on the Argon. And now maybe he released it, or I finally looked in the right place. We have this, right? We got Lemmings. Look at them. They're doing the dumpy little thing like they are. And you will notice they're moving fast. I want to say this is at least twice, if not 2.5 times the normal walking speed. This is basic, right? Which means that there's plenty of cycles available to do the rest of the game logic. You got to do what is it? If you've got the collisions and the explosions, there isn't that much more to do but to do the timers and whatever. So it looks like, from a hardware perspective, it is technically possible, absolutely, to do Lemmings on this hardware. That would be chuffed. So very happy to see that, Mike. Thank you to well done. And let's see if we can get some more of this stuff as we move forward. So next one is an honorable mention, ray tracing. Again, this is by Astralaster, which is Sasha Snyder, another heavyweight 920-pound gorilla of the community. I think he worked on the emulator and a bunch of deep core stuff. So he made a ray tracer. I tried it. It sort of works, but it's too slow. I mean, you thought the Mandelbro was slow. This is like dude, not today. Gonna take too long. What I think is kind of cool, though, is that it's written, it was based on a ray tracing engine written in C++ assembler for the Texas Instrument 84 calculator. It's the CE color edition. I have the black and white, but yeah, you can run a ton of stuff on here. Yeah, see, I've got a sort of, I think this is some sort of sort of numbers matching game. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. Well, somebody else wrote a ray tracer, and because this thing has got a Z80 and Argon has got a Z80, apparently the porting wasn't that bad. He says, I only did small changes to make it compile. That we'll see what the definition of small is. Maybe one day I'll do a video on this thing. Picked it up for like 5 smackers at a flea market, and it runs Doom. It runs all kinds of stuff. Unfortunately, I can't connect a screen capture tool. But yeah, Z80 for the win. And the last one, I wish I could show it to you. Again, from Movie Vertigo, Bad Apple, right? Unfortunately, that one is so advanced that it just keeps frying my Argon. I don't know exactly, and frying it in a sense that I have to reflash the VDP because I think it just leaves stuff in the ESP as 32's memory, and then the whole system becomes unstable, which is really sad because I did get it to work. I will do this. This is what it looks like. Apparently this Bad Apple is the thing. It's an anime. It's a song, and it's got like the animation. And that's what it looks like with that sound and those animations. Now, full disclosure, I haven't looked at the code, but I suspect, I can't prove that this is like over the edge where really it's the ESP32 doing a bunch of the heavy lifting and making it work. So if anybody, by the way, works out how to reliably make this work, message me in the comments or anywhere, because I want to get it to work again. It was working yesterday as I was practicing for this video, and I had a beautiful take of this video, and at this stage it just completely crapped out on me because it decided not to work and do weird stuff, and then even the other programs wouldn't work correctly. So yeah, definitely pushing the Argon to its limits and maybe just slightly over the edge. But shout out to Mr. Vertigo or Mr. Movie, will like that. Okay, that's the end of the eye candy today, but before we go, I do want to say oops, I have an erratum, which is the singular of errata. In the last previous video, I might have insinuated slightly that Heber.co.uk, the people who actually create the Argon Console 8, I might have indicated that they are basically a capitalist monster of like capitalism who is destroying the free spirit of our weird little corner of the internet by commercializing these things. I mean, look at their management team. They look as evil as Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos and the other crazy Tesla guy put into one. So these people I might have incinerated in their like faceless corporate headquarters, that they were the ones who did the MOS and BDP for the console 8, the ones which I'm running here. And I got a very kind message from a gentleman called Steve Sims who says, nope, I'm not affiliated with this commercial enterprise. I just write the entire firmware for them for fun. So apologies, Steve, for misrepresenting your relationship with these capitalist overlords. Nope, he's a independent spirit who's doing this for us, constantly pushing the firmware forward. Like between my last video and this one, it already went up a number. And then, as I was preparing for this, I stumbled on the old Facebook across this post by Jeff Ledger, also very active on the Argon on Facebook, who basically said, hey, Steve Sims has got a Patreon. He's doing a lot of it for us, working on this full-time, funding with his savings. Wow, Steve, chill, right? Yeah, he's got a Patreon, which is currently at 0%, and Jeff is encouraging to sponsor Steve. I'll put a link down in there. Maybe some of you will be inspired to throw a few kafoofniks his way. Oof, that's it for today. Less controversial, less energetic, some pretty eye candy. Interesting what you can pull out of this weird little machine. Pretty sure that the original creator didn't imagine any of this. With that, that's about it. Check out the webpage. Make sure to check out the other videos. Check me out on the old Mastodon, Blue Sky, which is now invaded since they've dropped the invitation. And what can I say? You're a bunch of bloody legends. I'm Loserbum. You have been a wonderful, wonderful audience, and I am out of here.